From Neural Newscast, this is Deep Dive, exploring the moments that shape today.
Welcome to Deep Dive. Today is May 20th, and we are stepping back nearly 1,700 years to a moment where religion and statecraft collided to shape the future of the West. It is a day that gave us foundational structures of faith, some of our favorite screen icons, and even a reminder of why the smallest members of our ecosystem are the most critical. Cole, let's start with the big one, the 325 AD opening of the First Council of Nicaea. Marcus, from a security and stability perspective, Constantine I was facing a fractured empire. Christianity was spreading, but it was internally divided by fierce theological debates, specifically regarding the nature of Christ. If Constantine wanted a stable Roman Empire, he needed a unified church. It's like early version control for a massive community. Before Nicaea, you had all these local traditions and different interpretations. Constantine essentially hits the merge button by bringing over 300 bishops to Nicaea, which is in modern-day Turkey. Exactly. This wasn't just a casual meeting. It was the first ecumenical council, meaning it was intended for the entire church. They were tackling the Arian controversy, which had become a major source of civil unrest. The result was the Nicene Creed, a statement of belief that is still recited in churches globally today. What fascinates me, Cole, is the human element. You have these bishops traveling long distances, some bearing the scars of past persecutions, now being hosted by the emperor himself. It changed the dynamic of the church from a persecuted minority to a protected, institutionalized pillar of the state. The long-term impact cannot be overstated. By establishing a centralized authority on doctrine, the council set a precedent for how the church would interact with secular power for the next millennium. It was about creating a cohesive identity through rigorous documentation. And while Nicaea was building the framework for an institution, today is also about the individuals who have built massive legacies in our modern culture. We have a heavy-hitting birthday lineup today. Let's start with Timothy Olyphant, born in 1968. If you look at his work in Justified or Deadwood, there is a controlled intensity there. He portrays lawmen who operate on the edge of the system, which is a fascinating study in character-driven authority. He's got that cool, effortless charisma. I definitely appreciate the way he's crossed over into gaming culture too, like his voice work as Agent 47 in the Hitman film. He just brings this specific weight to every role.
Then we have Tony Goldwyn, born in 1960. Many people know him as President Fitz from Scandal, but his career trajectory is incredible. He was the villain in Ghost, which was a massive cultural moment in the early 90s, and he's since become a respected director.
Goldwyn is a great example of longevity. He moved from being the guy everyone hated in Ghost to a leading man and a behind-the-scenes force. It's that ability to pivot and master different mechanics of the industry that keeps someone relevant for decades.
Speaking of decades, Marcus, we have to talk about Cher. Born Sherilyn Sarkeesian in 1946, she is the definition of a cultural icon. Cole, Cher is basically the final boss of pop culture. She has a #1 single in 6 consecutive decades. Think about the sheer evolution required to do that. She went from folk rock with Sonny and Cher to disco, then rock, and then she pioneered the use of autotune with Believe. And her acting career wasn't a side project. She won the Academy Award for Best Actress for Moonstruck. She has this singular ability to dominate whatever medium she enters, which from a branding perspective is almost unprecedented. She's a shapeshifter. Whether it's fashion, music, or film, Cher always understands the meta of the moment before anyone else does. It's hard to imagine the modern entertainment landscape without her influence. While we celebrate these towering human achievements, May 20th also asks us to look at something much smaller, but arguably more essential to our survival. Today is World Bee Day.
This isn't just a cute holiday. World Bee Day was established by the UN to draw attention to how much our food security depends on these pollinators. If the bees fail, the whole system has a critical error.
The statistics are sobering. Nearly 90% of the world's wild flowering plant species depend, at least in part, on animal pollination. From a national security lens, biodiversity and stable food supplies are the bedrock of a functioning society.
It's about the underlying engine of the planet. We often focus on the flashy tech or the big stars, but without these tiny workers maintaining the biodiversity of our environment, none of the rest of it works. It's a day to recognize the importance of conservation and sustainable agriculture.
From the halls of Nicaea to the legacy of Cher and the flight of the honeybee, May 20th shows us how much the structures we build and the ecosystems we protect define our world. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the timeline. Visit deepdive.neuralnewscast.com for more. Deep Dive is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. Explore history every day on Neural Newscast.
This has been Deep Dive on Neural Newscast, exploring the moments that shape today.